So, the next game to take place entirely in New Hyrule will be the Oracle games, which I believe is the same Link as it is in Spirit Tracks, but since I haven't played Spirit Tracks, I can't tell. So in the Oracle games, it doesn't matter which one comes first, but what does matter is what is attempting in it. Twin Rova is trying to revive Ganon. Now, it's considered a failure, because the Ganon that comes back is just a mindless monster. But there's a reason for it. Why? Because the Ganon who they're attempting to revive, the one who died in the original Legend of Zelda, doesn't have the entity Ganon in him anymore. It's currently in the bottom of the ocean. But when they use the three torches, they free Ganondorf from Wind Waker from his seal. Which leads us up to the next game, A Link to the Past. Now there is no way that Ganondorf could get out of the bottom of the ocean, even once he got freed from his stone seal alive. Just way too much water. So he probably died there once they revived him. And as such, Ganon the entity left Wind Waker Ganondorf and went searching for a new host. He found one. An Agham. So, if there's no way that Ganondorf could have gotten out of the bottom of the ocean, how on earth did the Master Sword get out from the bottom of the ocean? Well, it's pretty simple. Throughout the entire Wind Waker game, you're going around with the salvage arm, picking up stuff from the bottom of the ocean. It's easily possible that someone else could have came and picked up the Master Sword and brought it back to Hyrule. Now you'll remember, in A Link to the Past, Ganon uses the Trident. Now, in the original Legend of Zelda, the only other game where he's entirely Ganon, he doesn't have the Trident. However, in the official art of A Link to the Past, it shows Link fighting Ganon in the original Legend of Zelda, and Ganon wielding the Trident. Yada yada yada. A Link to the Past is over. Next game is obviously Link's Awakening. Once again, I'm gonna be lazy and not even bother explaining because it's an obvious sequel. Plus, it also is an easy way of telling that A Link to the Past takes place after Wind Waker because there's a really large body of water. Darn it, not again! Sometime after A Link to the Past and Link's Awakening, and the Master Sword being lost and never used again, some civil war or something breaks out, and we get someone known as the Hero of Men. If you can't tell, that means the next game is Minish Cap. So I placed Minish Cap here, not at the beginning of the series, for several reasons. I'll explain more of them in the companion video to this, but right now I'm just going to give the simple reason that most of the monsters that Ganon utilizes in his forces were all created by him. At least in my theory. And Minish Cap features quite a few enemies that were created by Ganon. By putting Legend of Zelda, a game which introduces a lot of those enemies, first, there's no issue with them appearing later in the series. So Minish Cap features the forging of the Four Sword, which, pretty obviously, leads up to what the next game in the series is going to be. Four Swords. And now the series is almost done. And the only game that we have left is going to have to come next. So, Four Swords Adventures. And that is my finished Legend of Zelda timeline. Hooray. So, the Four Sword was originally created because they didn't have a Master Sword and then a new evil came along. And then they just kind of stuck with that from then on. And of course, I put the sub-series of Four Swords after all the rest of the games is because Ganon's in the last one. And if they had the Four Sword lying around through all of the games, why would they even need the Master Sword? Thanks for watching, everyone, unless you got mad and walked off. So if you're gonna post a comment, make sure it's intelligent, and I'll be shortly releasing a companion video in which I go into more detail on a lot of my points and arguments. And I hope you have a generally good time in the upcoming weeks.